name is Giulia. This is my resume and my headshot.
Do you have a last name, Giulia?
Yes, my last name is Gabby. My name is Giulia Gabby.
Gabby.
Yes. And this is my colleague, Natasha. She'll be assisting me today reading my lines.
Okay.
And I will be performing for you today in the jury room, Act 1. I will be playing the actress.
The actress.
Yes. But the rest of us voted guilty. But I didn't. The majority rules. Now, in the case of juries and murder trials, it doesn't. The vote has to be unanimous. And it isn't unanimous. Yet. What all the rest of us think doesn't matter, I suppose. I respect your opinions. And I hope you respect mine. You're all by yourself in your opinion, you know. Following my conscience isn't that what I'm supposed to do? But why? Why do you imagine that girl is innocent? I don't imagine it. I know it. I just know she's innocent. Oh, you know it. I suppose you know something that the rest of us don't. Would you mind telling us? You have a new clue, maybe? No, I don't really know any more than the rest of you. We all sat through the trial together. We all heard the same testimony. I suppose I just reacted differently. How? Why? Well, it's a little hard to explain. I mean, I'm not arguing the facts that Julie Fletcher was found kneeling by her uncle's dead body and the fingerprints and all that. I guess it's just that I got a different impression of Julie. Impression? What do you mean, impression? Well, just this. Maybe I've told some of you before, but I'm an actress. Or not really an actress, maybe. Let's say I'm studying to be an actress. What does that have to do with it? Let the girl talk, will you? Thank you. When you study acting, you study people. You study character, motivation. You try to understand. You try to look for what's consistent in a person, what that person's what that person's traits are, and then you can decide what he'd do or wouldn't do. Psychology, is that it? In a way, yes. Anyhow, I studied Julie Fletcher that way. I didn't need to do it exactly. I just sort of did it by habit. So sometimes maybe I didn't listen to the testimony real close. I studied the people who gave the testimony, and I studied Julie especially. I watched her through the whole trial. I watched her sometimes when there were other witnesses on the stand. I got to know her, I think. And what does this all add up to? I don't think Julie Fletcher's the kind of girl who could murder anybody. Simple as that, eh? It's pretty simple, I guess. How dare you? How dare you try to decide guilt or innocence that way? You have to look at the facts, and not your intuition. I can't help the way I feel. That was an interesting reason you gave for thinking Julie Fletcher is innocent. But you think it's crazy too.
I want to try it again.
Yeah.
And I'd like your partner to come over here.
Oh, okay.
And I'd like you to pretend as though you have like 12 people.
Okay.
And so you have permission to break the fourth wall. So you can look at me, look at her. And so in my response to what I saw, you seem to understand what you were saying, but you seemed shy. So it might seem a little unconvincing because you were bending down and almost looking down as though you weren't sure that you were right. Whereas I feel that your instinct has told you you can't vote to condemn her. Because as an actress, you've studied people, so you are clear in your conviction about it. Mm-hmm. So it came over a little bit like you were unsure and you were shy to speak.
Okay.
Rather than being confident.
Okay.
And feeling, no matter what, if I'm the only person who says no, I'm just gonna stick to my guns.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
You see
Yes.
the difference, what we're trying to take you
Yeah.
with it?
Yes, yes.
All right.
Okay. But the rest of us voted guilty.
I didn't.
The majority rules.
Not in the case of juries and murder trials, it doesn't. The vote has to be unanimous, and it isn't unanimous. Yet.
I want you to try it again and go twice as slowly.
Okay.
Because sometimes too, when we speak quickly, we give the impression of a kind of nervousness that you don't intend, right?
Okay.
When you know what you know, you can say it with a certain confidence. What's your first line?
My first line is, but I didn't.
Yeah, but I didn't.
Okay.
They did, but I didn't.
Okay.
And this is a situation it has to be unanimous. You know what I mean? Just
Yes.
relax with the text. Don't
Okay.
feel you have to rush to get the text out.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yes.
You want to
Okay.
try again?
Yes, thank you.
But the rest of us voted guilty.
But I didn't.
The majority rules.
Not in the case of juries and murder trials, it doesn't. The vote has to be unanimous, and it isn't unanimous. Yet.
What all the rest of us think doesn't matter, I suppose.
I respect your opinions, and I hope you respect mine.
You're all by yourself in your opinion, you know.
I'm following my conscience. Isn't that what I'm supposed to do?
But why? Why do you imagine that Will is innocent?
I don't imagine it. I know it. I just know she's innocent.
Oh, you know it. I suppose you know something that the rest of us don't. Would you mind telling us? You have some new clue, maybe?
No, I don't really know any more than the rest of you. We all sat through the trial together. We all heard the same testimony. I suppose I just reacted differently.
How? Why?
Well, it's a little hard to explain. I'm not arguing about the facts that Julie Fletcher was found kneeling by her uncle's dead body and the fingerprints and all that. I guess it's just that I got a different impression of Julie.
Impression? What do you mean, impression?
Well, just this. Maybe I've told some of you before, but I'm an actress. Or not really an actress, maybe. Let's say I'm studying to be an actress.
What does that have to do with it? Let the girl talk, will you?
Thank you. Well, when you study acting, you study people. You study character, motivation. You try to understand. You try to look for what's consistent in a person, what that person's traits are. And then you can decide what he'd do or wouldn't do.
Psychology, is that it?
In a way, yes. Anyhow, I studied Julie Fletcher that way. I didn't mean to do it exactly. I just sort of did it by habit. So sometimes maybe I didn't listen to the testimony real close. I studied the people who gave the testimony. And I studied Julie especially. I watched her through the whole trial. I even watched her sometimes when there were other witnesses on the stand. I got to know her, I think.
And what does all this add up to?
I don't think Julie Fletcher's the kind of girl who could murder anybody.
Simple as that, eh?
It's pretty simple, I guess.
How dare you? How dare you try to decide guilt or innocence that way? You have to look at the facts, not your intuition.
I can't help the way I feel.
Stop talking about feelings, talk about the facts. That was an interesting reason you gave for Julie Fletcher's is innocent.
But you think it's crazy too.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just want to have a seat. You can come a little closer. Okay. Amen. They show it last week.
Okay. Oh, you want me to come in? Okay.
What attracted you to this part?
What attracted me to the part was I could see so much of myself in this person. And I think like acting, it's a great thing because you have a chance to mirror parts of yourself within another person, even if that person might be in a different circumstance, or if they're different completely, there's some part of her that mirrors a part in me, and that is what attracted me to her.
So, what do you think, like a backstory would be? Like, did she have parents? How much education does she have?
Well, I think maybe she didn't come from the most supportive family, which is why I feel like she's so I feel like she could stick up for herself because she's been doing it before, maybe, where she has some kind of experience with saying like, no, like this is how I think and this is how I feel. But at the same, I do feel like she is an educated girl, and I do think that she has this dream of hers or this aspiration, and she's confident in herself. And
I think that's I like what you say there, because in a way, that's what I saw more the second time.
yeah,
Now, when I send you the link to it, I want you to compare the acting to this little exchange we've had. And
Okay.
you're going to see the difference in terms of even the modulation of the voice,
okay,
in terms of the relaxation of the voice.
okay,
That and so the hardest thing for an actor is to sound conversational. It's like very often we know what to say, but sometimes it doesn't come out like it's a natural, instinctive response to stuff. Sometimes it sounds like we're waiting for the cue to say the line. Right?
yeah,
So a lot of what you're trying to say to me comes from how you express the line,
yes,
not how fast you say it.
okay,
Yeah. Make sense to you?
yes, absolutely.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming.
Thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Take care.